when you talk about censorship, you talk about content control. I mean, in China, there's always a degree of content control. I mean, in any society, it's in different form, different kind of mechanism, I would say. I mean, when you look at China's situation, you have to look on historical basis more closely because, you know, when I was in China, I mean, actually, a lot of people don't know I was a news reporter in China back in the 80s. At that time, there was no news reporting. It was all propaganda, okay? And I remember that all the newspapers have only 4 pages, I mean, full of propaganda without news. It was only 15 years ago China started to have real news, I mean, reporting on these type of things. I think SINA was a very important part of it. And so actually, we see a lot of progress in terms of openness and freedom of, media. I mean, a lot of progress in the last 15 years. And so we have to put these things in the historical context. I mean, otherwise, I think a lot of US companies cannot be successful in China, internet company, because they always use US standard, their experience in US to judge China, which is wrong because China is in a very different stage. I mean, and so having said that, I think the censorship does create, it's part of our, I think, operation, I think. It's not like people think that there's a lot of interference, by the government. It's really, it's a self-censorship in a way that you know what you can do, you cannot do in China. I mean, it's just not in the United States. You have different standards. There are certain things you cannot say in the internet, also in the United States, right? Because you know what you cannot say. And I don't think you can say anything you want in the United States on internet either. So I think it's just different way of having this censorship at different criteria, different keywords, and I think it's not really have too much impact on our operation. As you can see, our user growth is just tremendous. Activity growth is also tremendous. But you have to take into consideration that you are not completely free to say, whatever you want to say. But this is actually the normal life. I think the key difference probably in the US, what you can say, cannot say is basically governed by the laws and regulations. So you have very clear standard. But in China, sometimes this standard is not consistent. That's the only trouble we have.